So this is gonna be a long day, y'all. I got a lot of shit on my mind that I've been saving and just festering and researching and all kind of stuff. You know, I try to, when things come across me, I try to process before I respond. So right now I'm responding to Elijah Cummings last week with the Michael Cohen hearing. And let me say this, you know, we have a lot of issues, black men and black women, but we got to start correcting those issues. And one of those issues is black men are supposed to be protectors. We supposed to protect our family, the black woman, the black children, and ourselves. But you're supposed to protect your woman and the women in your community. All other groups of people do that. I'm not asking for nothing that nobody else isn't already and has been doing consistently. We weren't allowed to do it for hundreds of years, but there's no excuse for that in today's world. So Elijah Cummings, so let me set the table a little bit. So, in case you didn't see the hearing, because a lot of y'all don't pay attention to the news and C-SPAN and hearings and things like that. So, what happened was Mark Meadows, I believe he's from North Carolina, and he, in order to, and this is on national television, this is worldwide television, this is international television. He got up on international television, Mark Meadows, and in an attempt to defend Trump, somehow to discredit Michael Cohen and defend Trump, to prove Trump is not a racist, which there's much evidence on that. But in order to prove his point that Trump is not a racist, nor is he flew a black woman down from another state, from New York to D.C., to prove that this woman was Trump's friend. So he didn't allow the woman to speak for herself, which I felt was disrespectful in and of itself. But he propped her up behind him. Stand here, you're gonna be Trump's black friend. They had to go all the way to New York. They couldn't find nobody in D.C. They had to go all the way to New York to find his black woman friend. And because he has a black woman friend, he must not be racist. And also, I'm not a racist either because I got a black niece and a nephew. So I can't be racist because my brother got some black pussy or whatever. I don't understand that logic. You know, what his brother or his sister did has nothing to do with who he is or what he does. But as black people, and I'm addressing white people now, as black people, we're tired of the black friend card that always comes out. Oh, I can't be a racist because I have a black friend, or I dated a black girl way back when, or whatever the story is. We've heard it for hundreds of years. That has nothing to do with whether you are a racist or not. Okay, all of the slaveholders they had black little girlfriends and was messing around with the black slave mistresses and all of that. So that means nothing. Okay, statistically, it ain't even possible for every white person in the country to have a black friend. Ain't enough black people to go around, and all of y'all ain't got the same black friend. Okay, it ain't happening. Okay, most white people for that matter, and this ain't all white people, I'm being very general here, so please don't give me, I'm different. I've heard that before too. I'm not talking about when I speak, I'm not talking about all people. I'm being very general. Not all white people are bad. I have a lot of white friends. My daughter has a white boyfriend. My son's best friend is white, and I love him to death. It ain't about that. Black people love white people, okay? We your biggest defenders historically. Black people have supported white people historically more than they've supported their own damn selves. It's not about that, okay? But, so he defends a racist with a racist act himself. And the black woman is calling him out on it. and he gets offended and wants to play the victim card, okay? Which is absurd. It's absurd, okay? But that's what anybody who, anytime anybody ever does anything wrong, they're always going to defend it. Nobody's going to say, oh, you got me right off the bat. Nobody. Anybody who's accused of doing something wrong, their first response is to say, I didn't do it. That's always, I don't care what happened. Okay? Bill Clinton got impeached for getting head. He got impeached actually not because he got head, he lied about it, which is what 99% of not just men, anybody accused of cheating on their spouse is gonna deny it. Nobody is gonna immediately say, yeah, I did it. Nobody. 99% of people, I'm not gonna say 100%, but 99% of people are gonna say, hell no, I ain't do it. That's the reaction. It's not until they get caught and proven that people start remorsing and wanting to repent and apologize. That's the reaction. They wanted to impeach him for that because of that lie. Donald Trump goes and lies on national television 100 times a day. This is no lie. This is not Van exaggerating. This has been proven 100 times a day. And people are still defending him. Oh, I've never seen him lie. Are you kidding me? That's another topic. I'm not going to get... But going back to Elijah Cummings. So as the chairman, he's responsible for keeping order. I understand that. But you don't keep order by trying to put the black woman in check. And that's what he was doing. You know, and I've talked to a few people about that of different ages and generations and things. And some people have different, oh, he did a good job and all of that. No, he didn't. His first reaction should have been, wait the hell a minute. You ain't going to be yelling at this, chastising this black woman and you in the wrong. That's what he should have said. That white man got mad and yelled at, and he was yelling at that black woman, chastising her because she pointed out the racist crap he had just done. He was doing it as on national television at that very moment. He had the black girl standing behind him like she was on a slave block. She couldn't talk. Elijah Cummings, of all people, should have been offended by that. You know, sir, you are not going to speak to this black woman like that when you are in the wrong. Clearly in the wrong. And he doubled down on it. Not only, he tripled down on it. Because he defended Donald Trump as the racist. That was the double down. Then he defended himself by saying, oh, I can't be racist because I have a black niece. Are you shitting me? This was on national television. Where is the outrage, black men? Where is your outrage? That shit should not be allowed because you wouldn't let, your girlfriend wouldn't allow that shit to happen at Walmart. You couldn't, she would whoop your ass right in the middle of Walmart. You allowed some white man to chastise her and yell at her like she's a child in front of everybody in Walmart. She would have been looking at you like, nigga, you gonna allow that to happen? He did it on national television. Elijah Cummings, oh, that's my best friend, and oh, I know he. Are you shitting me? I don't give a shit if that's your best friend, then check his ass. That's what you should have done. Because now you done gave a pass, or you done said this is okay to all of these Trump supporters, and again, all white men aren't like this, but you got a lot of them that feel that they can speak to people any kind of way they want. No, white men, sometimes you should have learned something from Black Panther. You are not allowed to speak. At some point, you shouldn't even be speaking. And that was one of them times. We should have been barking at his ass. That's what the girl should have did. You know, the one that was calling them out. She should have just started barking on his ass when he was trying to chastise her. Because she called him out for the shit he was doing at that very moment. But Elijah Cummings is... as a leader in the black community, no, sir, we are not going to allow that. He didn't have to specifically say, he could have just said that and left it alone. No, sir, I'm the chairman. He got offended when he felt disrespected. But when the black woman was being disrespected on international television, he didn't say shit to that effect. I'm going to give you a chance to clarify, basically fix what the hell you just said. She didn't say nothing wrong. She called out exactly what he was doing. Exactly. Now, I didn't like what she did when she tried to hide it like, oh, someone. She should have, yeah, you motherfucker, you did that shit. She should have been, she wasn't black enough. They should have had Maxine Walters up there, somebody, some real black woman who would have cussed his ass out. Yeah, motherfucker, I said you. You just did. You're doing right now what the hell I just said you was doing. You're still doing it. And she should have said something to the black girl. And your dumb ass is participating right behind them, standing up there like you on the slave block, like you about to be auctioned off. Where is the outrage? But the racism and prejudice and bigotry, it persists because we allow this shit. Stop allowing it. And I'm angry, and that's why I'm yelling. I probably shouldn't be yelling as loud as I'm yelling because I look silly in the house by myself yelling like this, but I'm angry. Stop allowing that shit to happen. Protect black women, especially when they being disrespected by an old wrinkly ass white man on international television. We all watched it. And white women was even other white people. It wasn't even just the white women. I'm watching the other shows afterwards, and all week they've been talking about it. No black woman has talked about it. All the little white girls have been on national television saying this shit ain't right. We watching this. They offended. We're the black men saying, no, sir, we are not going to allow that. To Elijah Cummings. No, sir, you need to defend this black woman who's talking correctly right now. She wasn't nasty. She was very polite the way she was saying it, but she was correct in what she was saying. That's why racism persists, because we don't address it. You can't that's like if you're a rapist and you get offended because the woman who you raped is saying something about it. That's what the hell we saw with the Kavanaugh shit. He got offended because the woman who was sexually assaulted or felt she was, he got offended. How you get offended because you did wrong to somebody else? It doesn't work that way. We don't allow that shit. We're not supposed to allow it. But we still acting like slaves. Stop acting like slaves and you scared to speak to master because you're scared you're going to get your ass whooped. Stop doing that. I would have lost my job over that shit. I would have went the fuck off if I had seen that at a job. I would have went off. They would have had to fire me and call security on me. But all y'all real niggas and shit ain't saying a goddamn thing. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? This shit is crazy. Again, I usually don't be cussing this much on my videos, but this shit is ridiculous. Y'all need to be calling Elijah Cummings and emailing him and saying, no, sir, we are not going to allow that. But y'all going to fucking mute R. Kelly and all that. You know, I ain't saying y'all wrong for doing that. But y'all all, R. Kelly been telling you who the fuck he is all of these goddamn years in his videos and doing this shit in broad public. Now you're offended. But you're going to let these white people do the same shit politically that R. Kelly is doing. All Trump is R. Kelly. R. Kelly ain't a pedophile, he's a goddamn pimp. He's pimping these girls. They all ain't young. Some of them was 30 damn years old. That's a whole nother video. I'll tell you, I got a lot of shit to talk about. I'll do another video for R. Kelly. But Trump is the same shit. He's doing the same exact shit. He want a woman half his age. He grabbing pussies. He cussing motherfuckers out in CPAC. Same vulgar mentality. Where you think R. Kelly got it from? It's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. And that's from the trauma of slavery. A lot of that shit is trauma. Okay? And I'm not defending R. Kelly by no means. But understand the source. Okay? White men have been doing this shit since the colonies. It's been going on. So yeah, we emulating some of that shit. We got to stop doing that and start protecting black women. We couldn't protect them during slavery because they would kill us. That's not exactly what's happening now. Start protecting them. Stop letting people say shit that allows the continuation of this nonsense. Stop. And I try not to use big words because I don't want to confuse nobody, because that's what you see on news. And I'm trying to speak in very layman's terms so y'all understand. That's why I do a lot of cussing, because y'all understand that shit. Stop allowing that bullshit to happen. I could say bullshit. The president just said bullshit, so I could say it. So don't get offended. Some of y'all get offended when I cuss. You allowed the damn president to cuss on national television. Y'all ain't saying shit. Y'all ain't offended by his ass. He cuss all the time, or he cussing reporters out, and he cussing at these speeches, and y'all ain't saying a damn thing. All of y'all, white, black, and other, y'all allowing that shit. Stop allowing this fucking vulgar shit, because white men, and I'm not saying all white men, I'm being very general. And it's really the plutocrats. That's what I mean when I say white men. Rich white men feel they could say anything and do anything at any time. And some of that behavior has filtered down to other groups of white men. And some of y'all emulate some of that but that's where it comes from. Understand the source. They always felt emboldened to say whatever, ever since they've been in this country. They always felt emboldened to say whatever they want to any other group of people. They're the only group of people who have never been oppressed. Every other group of people in this country have been oppressed by white men. So how the hell can you get offended when somebody calls you out on that shit? Y'all been doing it for 500 goddamn years. It's in the slavery books. We got quotes. Y'all written speeches and songs on this shit. We ain't making this up. This ain't Van saying this. Y'all have said this. Now we live in a politically correct world, so you're getting caught and a lot of your shit is getting thrown back in your face and you can't lie no more, or you get called out on your lies. Okay, see, politicians have been lying forever. All of them, all of these great men and great presidents, and Lincoln was a big liar. He would go tell one speech, and he was in one part of the country, tell them one thing, and go to the South and tell them some other different thing, the total opposite. He said whatever group of people, whatever they wanted to hear. But now we live in a social media world where they can't run from that. See, before, everybody didn't read, and everybody didn't read the speeches. So you wasn't really paying attention if you was in the South, what the hell he said in the North. They didn't really pay attention to it. It wasn't common knowledge. But now they getting called out on this shit. This Mark Meadows, what the hell did he do? He was the one, he was echoing Trump with the send Obama back to Africa shit. He ain't a racist? He been saying this shit. He been a racist. I don't care who his brother or his sister was fucking. That ain't got nothing to do with him. That doesn't make, because your brother or your sister got some black pussy or some black dick, now you're automatically not a racist? What the fuck? How the fuck does that work? I don't understand how that works. What my brother do and who he sleep with ain't got nothing to do with me. Who my sister sleep with ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing at all. It don't change my personality and it don't change my behavior at all. Not at all. I got family members that's married to other groups of people and all of that. That don't change nothing how I think and how I do. Who my children date and associate with doesn't change who I am or how I feel or how I treat you. So for him to say that in itself, that's the black card. That's all that is. He pulled out the black friend card. Is what he did. I got a black friend. I can't believe we've heard that. That is racist. We gotta stop allowing people to get away with that. And I hope the sound comes out good because I know I've been screaming. But this shit has had, I was mad as shit last week. That's what angered me the most about that hearing. Never mind the Republicans didn't even ask no questions. All they did was call a man a liar for 7 hours. They never asked any questions. If you were about truth and law and order, this man whipped out a check with Donald Trump's signature on it. You should have some questions if that's your boy. You should be offended by that. As a conservative, you should be offended. I call liberals, and I'm not a liberal, but I call liberals out. I call Republicans out. Be who you say you are. If that's what you stand for, be who you say. Could you imagine if Obama had talked to a white woman the way this white man just spoke to this black woman on national television? Could you imagine? They would have burned down the White House. They would have burnt it down. That's racism. That's not equality. That's a double standard. That's a double standard, y'all. We allow white men. That's why Trump is running around. Black men ain't even surprised by what Trump is doing. We ain't surprised because we've seen white men do this all our lives. This has happened for generations. It's only now that it's being caught on tape and every word he says is being recorded, and you could see it coming out his mouth that the liberal white people are trying to be offended. Oh, I'm horrified. We've been telling y'all this shit for 100 years. We've been telling you this. This is what's been happening. We ain't even surprised. It don't surprise us. But stop. And I thank you white people who did stand up for the black girl. Or she didn't identify. I can't remember if she called herself a black girl, if she called herself a woman of color. Whatever the sister's name, she was a non-white woman, okay? Whatever her name was, well, I can't remember her name, and whatever her nationality is, or her race is, rather. She is American, I believe. But whatever her race is, I thank the white people for defending her. The white people have been the only people, the liberal white people have been the only, particularly the liberal white women have been the only women who have been, only people who have been defending this woman. It's crazy. Where are you strong black men at? Why y'all ain't standing up for with some YouTube videos? And I ain't ran across one yet. Why y'all ain't on the talk shows defending this black woman and calling out Elijah Cummings for not defending her? That's one of his primary jobs as a black man. Fuck being a politician. Forget being in Congress. His primary job before he did any of that was to defend a black woman. That should be instinctive. He should have went the fuck off on instinct at that white man. Wait a minute, you ain't gonna talk to no sister like that? No, hell the fuck no. Farrakhan wouldn't allow that shit. Are you kidding me? Start protecting black women. Other groups of people do it. The Asians is protecting they women. The Hispanics is going to protect their women. They don't even let their women out the house. Okay? White men is going to protect white women. They ain't going to let no other group of men come talk shit to their white men or their white women on national television. It ain't going to happen. They're going to get called out. It ain't going to happen. They might get a death threat or two. It ain't going to happen. We used to get fucking lynched for winking at a white woman. Even when we wasn't doing it, they said we did it. Oh, he winked at her. What? They lynched him. They killed him. They took the man's life. And so now we going to allow this to happen and we supposed to be free? Y'all still slaves. Can't no white man do that to my wife in front of me or even me hearing about it. Can't happen. I don't give a shit where I'm at. They're going to have to take me to jail. They're going to have to shoot me. That's worth getting shot for. Stop allowing that to happen. Your daughters and shit. Y'all, I'm a father. I got 2 black daughters. It ain't happening. Stop allowing that. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's wife. That's somebody's sister. Stop allowing that to happen. Stop allowing people to disrespect you. Black people. Stop allowing it. They beat your mama ass on national television. Remember that? They dragged the black grandmama or the auntie or whatever the hell she was out the car I think it was California. They drug out the car and that policeman whooped her ass in national television. We the only group of people that allow that shit. They beat your mama ass. They beat somebody mama ass. I wish somebody would try to whoop my mama ass on national, or it ain't even got to be televised. I wish I would hear about a cop whooping my mama ass on the side of the highway like she's a dog. Stop allowing that disrespect. It's prevalent. You see examples of it. It's too much. And they're getting bolder with it. We going back to slavery. They going back to slavery attitudes where they feel I could whoop this white woman's ass, or this black woman's ass rather, on national television. They bold as shit with it. That's what they used to do during slavery. Whoop your ass out in the middle of the street, in the middle of the town and shit. Because you did some silly shit, or they thought you did something. You winked at a woman, or you rolled your eyes at a white man as a black woman. They'll lynch your ass for that shit. But they could whoop your mama ass and your auntie ass on national television. They could shoot your son on national television. He knew he was being video recorded and didn't give a fuck. Castile, or whatever the boy's name was, that they shot him in front of his girl and his daughter. They didn't give a fuck. They knew they was being recorded and didn't care. They knew the girl was recording them. He still shot him. Unprovoked. He wasn't provoked. But see, you have a lot of fear. And I'm not saying all white people fear black people, but generally, it's a lot of fear. When you've done so much shit and you're conscious of the shit that white people have done to black people for 500 years, you're fearful that black people gonna wake up and realize that shit and do something about it. And you're scared of that day. So, and you want to be proactive, and I'm gonna do something to them before they do something to me. That's where the fear comes from. Okay? That's the fear. That's where all of these shootings is coming from. Even though historically, no black person, no group of black people have done shit to white people. No, it's never happened. Not in this country. It's never happened. You got to go back to the colonies, to the maybe a slave rebellion, and them shits got quashed with the quickness. You got to go back to that, and that was a rare thing that happened. But in modern times, no group of black people have done shit to white people. Again, we love y'all as black people. We like a loyal hound dog. We've been more loyal to white people than white people have been loyal to their damn selves. Because white people ain't loyal to each other. They don't like each other historically. What was y'all doing over there in Europe? It wasn't no black people over there. It was all y'all. What was y'all doing? Killing each other? That's what y'all was doing. And looking for the witch. That's what y'all was doing. That's historically. You can go back to Rome. When they ran out of killing each other in the arenas and shit, what was Romans doing? They moved out of Rome and started killing other groups of people. And most of them was white. Until they killed all of the white people and got to the black people. They was killing all across the continent. They ran out of white people and found us and started killing us. That's in their culture. That's not what black people don't do that. We don't do that. But they scared of us. So they say. Ain't nobody did shit to them. They've been doing it to other groups of people. They went and killed all the Indians and all the Mexicans. They took a whole country from the Mexicans and the Indians. They did it once with the Indians, let me stop saying Indians, with the Native Americans, and did it again with the Mexicans. They didn't get tired of it. They didn't feel any remorse for killing all the Native Americans. They enjoyed it and decided to do it again to another group of people. And did it to the Aztecs. In every continent where they ran into native people, which were black people, they were non-white people, they kept killing them. There was no remorse, and to this day don't have no remorse. They have no remorse. That's why they talking about build a wall, and they chanting and getting right and ginned up on build a wall. Because that's always been in their culture. That's what they do. And it's not an instant thing. It's over periods of time. And destruction is not instant. It's a gradual thing. The only people who was destroyed instantly was the Japanese when we dropped the bomb on them. But historically, it's a gradual process. Over 100 years. They gradually destroy people. And disrespect to other people. That's where it starts. They don't believe what they change the rules. They don't believe their own rules. They just change them to suit whatever they're doing at the time. The rules was supposed to be Christianity. Love your neighbor. Turn your other cheek. Love everybody. When have white people done that? They killed everybody. They didn't love everybody. They killed everybody and then handed you a Bible. That's what they did. They don't believe their own rules. So why now do you see them on national television? Just a few years ago, the same shit they didn't want Obama to do. They supporting Trump. The same people. You could pull up their speeches. They're contradicting themselves. They're changing the rules. That's what they do. That's what they do. Same thing. Drugs was bad and we were criminalized. They criminalized us when drugs was in our community. Now they're prevalently going in their communities. Now it's a mental health issue. We're changing the rules. That's what we do. That's what they do. What we do is allow them to do it. Start speaking out against that shit to protect your families and to protect your women and your daughters and your sons. That's why they feel empowered and emboldened to do that shit. And these are the ones that's in public eye. We ain't even talking about the ones that ain't on TV. And they ain't in the public. They worse. They bold as shit. But they are emboldened by the ones that's on TV. Y'all need to start. You got free speech, right? You believe in the First Amendment. Y'all don't believe, as black people, we don't support the Second Amendment, but you're big Constitution lovers and American lovers, but you don't participate in the whole system. But you ain't even supporting the First Amendment. Use your shit. That woman had a right to, and she's a damn congresswoman. She had the right to speak her truth. Who the fuck was he to tell her, oh, I'm offended because I'm doing what you say I'm doing? Are you serious? Start speaking your truth. You have a right. Now, a black man try to down talk you. You've been cussing his ass out. You cuss him out in church because you don't respect your own man. But the man who's been oppressing you and belittling you and raping you and torturing you and taking your children away from you for hundreds of years, this is still going on today. It hasn't stopped. You're going to run to him and be humble to him, but you won't be humble to your own man to support him. You want to fight him every step of the way, and he on your side. But the man who's been against you for hundreds of years, who's been helping you destroy your own community for the last 50 years. Yeah, I said it. He helping you. Or you're helping him. You're an accomplice to the crime. Because you want to be right to your black man. You want to be better than your own man. You're the only woman on the planet who wants to do that. No other woman is trying to prove, they're constantly trying to prove their man wrong and prove that they're better than their man. And then you wonder why 70% of you are raising children by yourselves. You wonder why. We don't want it like, when black men don't want that. Y'all want that because you want to be right. Stop trying to be right all the goddamn time to us. Be right to the motherfucker that's trying to hurt you. Be right to him. Especially when you are right. The woman was right. She was in the right. And nobody's standing up for her. We're all these strong black women. Where the hell is Kanye? Now, he ain't gonna step up and tell his boys that they wrong. But he gonna wear a MAGA hat and support the motherfuckers. Why don't y'all mute Kanye for that shit? Mute his ass. I'm not supporting R. Kelly. I'm just saying it's a lot of motherfuckers wrong in his own circle. It's a lot of people who should be going to jail who was helping R. Kelly. Mute all of the motherfuckers and send all of them to jail. Let's mute all of these motherfuckers who's demeaning black women. Mute them motherfuckers. Let's stop playing Kanye records. Let's stop doing it. Let's stop doing it. Let's stop doing it. Let's correct all of this shit. But you can't just pick and choose and cherry pick where you want to take a stand. You gotta fix all that shit. When there's wrong, you gotta speak truth to the wrong. You gotta speak truth to the lies. Wherever you may encounter it. And whoever may be doing it. You gotta speak truth to that. Stop letting these motherfuckers disrespect you. Black woman. Stop letting white men disrespect you. And then you want to run to them and marry these motherfuckers and claim, oh, I did it because black men be disrespecting me. Are you fucking serious? You gonna run to the main motherfucker who been disrespecting you for 1,000 years. For thousands of years, they've been disrespecting black women. You gonna run to them. And it ain't stopped. They still doing it. You're gonna run to the motherfucker who's hurting you. You're gonna run to him to save you. Are you shitting me? That makes sense? That makes no sense. And I know it's a lot of people gonna be offended by this. I don't give a fuck. Because I haven't said anything that's wrong. You can't bring up you can't historically prove anything I've said is wrong. Everything I've said is correct and historically accurate. Again, it ain't all white men. Again, I'm friends with a lot of white men. There have been white people who have been great to me and who have helped me throughout my life. I'm not talking about them as individuals. I'm talking collectively, historically. This is what's happened as a group of people. There's always been individual white men and white women who knew the shit that the majority group was doing was wrong. There's always been examples. I'm not speaking about the exceptions. I'm talking about the group, what they've historically done. And they all have benefited from it. Even though there's been white people who sided against the group, they still benefited from what the group did. They still benefited. They didn't reject their white privilege. It's never happened. Ain't no white people standing up saying, hey, give me what the black people got because what y'all doing is wrong. They saying you wrong, but I'm going to keep what I got. I like what I got, so I'm going to keep this shit, but y'all wrong for that. That's what they saying. They ain't never say, hey, I'm going to be with the black people. Never have. Never's happened. It's never happened. Stop letting them disrespect you. I'm not speaking for black men. I'm speaking for black women and black families. Because they always saying I talk shit about black women and I'm always coming down. Here I am defending you and I'm angry about this shit. You ain't never seen me this angry. I'm angry about it. Because how that black woman was treated and disrespected on national television and international television. I'm offended that this black man allowed that shit to happen. That he allowed it to continue. He couldn't stop it from happening. It happened, but he should have responded to it. And he didn't. I'm offended by that. And y'all should be too. Stop allowing that shit to happen. Mute Elijah Cummings. Follow V.